It's a massive reason, and I think they were surprised by it. But it's been something I've been talking about for quite some time, and that's the most important thing people care about: the ability to put food on the table, a roof over their heads, and also their safety and security for their financial future.
Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader Thune, and Vice President J.D. Vance, they all downplayed the election results, disputing that this is a broader wake-up call for your party. Are they wrong?
I don't think they should downplay it. I'm from Georgia, and we lost two very important public service commission seats that were statewide races in the state of Georgia. I think that should be a big wake-up call to my home state. We've got the entire slate coming up in 2026 with governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, and John Ossoff's Senate seat is up for election. So I think it's a major wake-up call, as well as other down ballot races in like Pennsylvania and Mississippi.
You've been really clear, including on this show, about your unhappiness with both Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you rather see lead Republicans in Congress?
I think that's a very hard question. Here's my issue. I'm America first, and I don't apologize for that. And I believe Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, should be serving the American people. And when you campaign on America first, it's like having a restaurant advertising like a certain type of food, and then you don't deliver America first, and your customers come in your restaurant and the food's totally different, and they're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I was coming in for. You're not going to have those return customers, and I see it through that business lens. And here, I was telling my staff on the way here, I said, I voted to fund the government on September 18th. And here we are today is November 6th. Mm-hmm. And the House has not been in session since then. And I truly believe that's an utter failure. And you can't expect people to show up and be passionate about voting for you when you're not even going to work, and they're going to work every single day and struggling to pay their bills.
So there's no one you can think of that you would like to see lead the Republicans in Congress?
I haven't even heard those conversations yet, but we're not even meeting. So it's hard to do that.
The President Trump, told Senate Republicans behind closed doors yesterday, as you probably read about, that Republicans are getting, quote, killed over the government shutdown, and that's why they must change their approach or risk future losses. I know you feel similarly. Have you spoken directly with the president about this?
I have not, but I did speak to him some time ago about using the nuclear option and overriding the filibuster. And I told him, I said, Mr. President, this is the only way you're going to get your agenda across. And I called for it, I think it was early October. I actually started calling, saying that, Democrats should vote to fund the government, but Republicans are equally responsible. And if they're serious about funding the government, they should use the nuclear option and override the filibuster to get it done. And so I'm very pleased to see President Trump saying the same thing I'm saying.
I'm just curious, when did you talk to him about that? Because he came out recently, as you well know, mm-hmm. and called for Republicans to get rid of the filibuster and use the nuclear option. Do you think that could have been tied to your push for that, or when did you talk to him?
I think I spoke to him about that on that issue. That phone call was actually several months ago.
Okay.
Because I had been seeing it coming. We're not accomplishing the agenda. We're not passing bills that reflect his executive orders, and there is no effort to have any type of consensus on a health care plan, which I am very passionate about, as health insurance premiums are crushing Americans. And but I'm not sure what changed his mind on that, but he'd called for it before in his first administration. So this is something that President Trump believes in.
Have you talked to him during the shutdown?
No, I have not spoken to him with the shutdown.
You obviously are very devoted to President Trump. Mm-hmm. You've made that clear. You have campaigned for him.
Yep.
Is there anything, though, you'd critique or do differently?
My critique is not being focused on America first, but I largely blame that on our Congress because I serve in the House. I also blame that on who's advising him in the White House. Keeping him on nonstop tours around the world and nonstop meetings with foreign countries' leaders is not America first. It's just not. I think domestic policy should be the most important issue that the president and the Republican-controlled House and Senate are working on, and that showed up in the election on
But as
Tuesday.
the president, does he get some responsibility for that?
Well, of course. I mean, every president is responsible for the way that they lead, but they're also in a silo of information. And I think that's why after the election on Tuesday, you saw President Trump come out and react differently, probably because they couldn't keep him siloed. And here's the polls, sir, and this is what people are saying. I think he saw for himself, and he's reacted.
It's very interesting. You're an influential Republican in the House of Representatives, and we hear you breaking with your party on several issues, like the shutdown, the government shutdown, health care, foreign policy, the Epstein files. You say that's nothing new, but Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's arguing that this is all a, quote, revenge tour on your part because President Trump prevented you from running for Georgia's Senate seat next year. Is there any truth to her claim?
No, there's no truth to it. I actually put out a statement earlier this summer on why I didn't want to run for Senate. And if you look at the gridlock in the Senate right now, that actually I find repulsive, it just shows, why would I'm a serious person. I like to achieve things. I never want to go work somewhere where you can get nothing done.
So do you have any ambitions for a statewide or nationwide office?
So everyone's asking me that, and I think it's because Washington has never seen someone come in with pure intentions. I'm literally one of those disenfranchised, forgotten Americans that feels like the government has failed them, and I just so happened to get elected to Congress. So I didn't come in here with some sort of career or desire to just continue climbing the ladder. All I really want to do is do the job that I'm doing right now, and I'm trying very hard to do it, but we can't even go to work, so it's pretty hard to do it.
Are you completely ruling out the possibility of running for president in 2028?
So that was a rumor that got started yesterday, completely baseless. I never said I was running for president in 2028. I said I wasn't running for governor in this upcoming election. I said I wasn't running for Senate in this upcoming election, and I haven't said I'm running for president. Think about this. I'm against foreign wars to the military-industrial complex. Do you think they'd donate to me? No. I'm against Big Pharma, so do you think Big Pharma would donate to me? No. Health insurance industry? Absolutely not. I've been burning them to the ground. So I wouldn't be a candidate that would have all that big donor money. I'd have to send out like small dollar campaign requests, but seriously though, I never said that. It just, the rumor started yesterday and it got shared everywhere, so.
That's why I asked the question.
Yeah.